really need a little kind of more streamlined way to kind of go from video to on. Hey guys, welcome back to the Snark Lounge. I think we got a lot of the kinks worked out last week, and this week we have live people. I assume they're live. They're probably not zombies. So I want to go ahead and welcome in some guests today. We're going to be talking about exploring China. Let's go ahead and welcome in. It's your favorite, the man, the myth, the legend. It is Captain Burbex in the house.
I'm not alive today. No live. Not live. Like too cold.
Looks like you have a little. Oh, I thought there was a fireplace in the background that looks just like a bright lamp.
Oh yeah, there's a bright lamp, and yeah, that's actually a kimono. Yeah, it's a kimono that I may have pilfered from an abandoned building.
Well,
quite a beautiful abandoned Japanese restaurant. So can you hear me okay?
Perfect sense, man. Let's go ahead and also invite in the man behind the Rojo rope himself. It's Paul, Walkabout Rojo.
Hola.
Hey.
¿Cómo están ustedes, mi amigos?
Christmas cheer.
Yeah, I'm still partying, dude. It's Sunday, man. It's still Sunday. We're still in the Christmas weekend. It's good to be back.
Hey, I'm partying. I have the chocolate milkshake. So
I do too, my friend. But this one's got a little something special in it, I think. So I got I'm drinking the mudslide tonight. What do you got there, Burbex? What do you got? Is that a beer?
That's Pilsner. Czech Pilsner.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers, y'all. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, I don't know if we can get that all at the same spot at the same time, but
Want to try it?
Awesome.
Okay. All right. Well,
so we are going to be talking about some cool places we have explored in China because, guys, despite what the media may have you admit, China has some really cool things to see. So we're going to be talking about that. And before we go, what's new with you, gentlemen? Paul, what's new in your world these days?
Oh, man, I just got back from a lovely weekend in Huizhou with the girlfriend, doing some hiking, enjoying a nice Christmas. Quiet Christmas. Yeah, very nice. And I'm still in kind of the Christmassy spirit this weekend. I just want to say, Burbex, it's good to see you again, brother. It's been a long time since we've chatted, man. And then Snarky, I want to say welcome back to the Snark Lounge. I was so excited when I saw you on YouTube. You are a gift from God to YouTube, and especially to the YouTube community, which can be a little bit serious from time to time. I absolutely am so excited that the Snark Lounge is back in action, and I'm happy to be a part of it. So thank you for inviting me, brother.
Sexy lights.
Sexy time lights.
Wow.
Yes. And of course,
wait, doesn't it change? It changes colors, right? There you go.
Yes, we want to go really sexy. Yes. Absolutely. So yeah, why not? So Bren, what's new in your world, man?
Dogs. My life has been invaded by dogs. So in September, we found this dog on our porch, which we called Jackie, and she was heavily pregnant. Actually, you can check out the video about that on my channel. And she gave birth to like 5 puppies. So for 2 or 3 months, we were raising those. And as soon as we were ready to find them new homes, they all got adopted immediately. And one of them actually got adopted by Alex Fab. He's the #1 Italian Chinese YouTuber. He's quite famous. He took one of the puppies, and the puppies all found homes. But my neighborhood is overrun with stray dogs, and one of the neighbors, I think 2 weeks ago, brought me 2 other puppies. So we're going to have to try and find them homes as well. So that's why I've not been making so many videos recently, because I've been picking up dog poop, cleaning up pee, poo, dogs, bark, and I'm going a bit mental. So it's good to be on the
joys of life, man.
Yeah. But I guess it's good. It's good for my karma. Oh, look, Snarky's got his strange-looking dog. What's it called? Skittles?
Yes, my strange-looking dog that needs attention all the time. No, you're talking about Alex. I actually met him at that subscriber meetup here in Shanghai. He does a lot of massage videos. where he'll go get a massage and film the whole thing as he's getting rubbed all over the place, and apparently people are into that.
And he does like ASMR videos as well. So
yeah,
as he's getting massaged, you can hear all his grunts and his groans and the clicks and the creaks. But Alex he's such a nice guy, right? You know, like when I saw him, I thought, oh my God, this guy is just too cool for school. But then I started talking to him, and he's such a nice guy. One of the nicest guys I've met, except for Snarky, of course. But just he's also
got some. I know it's going to sound weird. He's got some really great manicured eyebrows. I don't know what.
Holy shit, man! those eyebrows deserve a show of their own.
Yeah, they really do. I know, right? Yeah. So definitely. Hey, happy holidays to you too, man. It's good to see everybody.
Yeah. Hey, Heinrich. Where's Heinrich in the world?
Where are you in the world, Heinrich? That is a very interesting name. So, hey, there's John SS. Good morning, y'all. Good morning to you too, sir.
Hey, John SS.
So, Bowen is in the house from Hong Kong. Yep. So, we're going to be talking about some cool places we visited. And since Burbex is here, I got to mention my failed attempt to go to some place that Bryn recommended I go in Hong Kong.
Oh, which place was that? Oh, shit.
Dragon
yeah, I
Lodge.
remember this story.
Yes. He recommended I check out this mansion that was super expensive. It's sold for over 117 million Hong Kong dollars back in 1997. That's 15 million bucks US. Some people claim it's haunted, like some nuns were killed there, although nobody really knows why it's haunted. So Bryn recommended when I was in Hong Kong in July that I go check it out. So I did. I went up. Do you need more love? So I did. I went up on Victoria Peak and to go there. Now, some of you guys know there's a little more snarky to love around the middle. So I was trying to get over the fence there. And let's just say I caught my pants on the fence. And so I was trying to get down, and they didn't rip. But, you know, here my posterior is on view for anyone to view.
And it's a magnificent posterior too.
This is exactly the time the police came by, and of course, you know the police in Hong Kong, they're a little jumpy these days anyway. So they happen to come by at the exact time that there's a chubby white dude exposing his ass to the world on the fence. And they told me, they said that he just every time I put him there, he's back. So like a magnet. They told me I didn't actually break any laws per se, but they did make me delete all the footage that I had been taken of the Dragon Lodge.
Yeah, that place has got quite a complicated history.
Yes.
It was built, I think, before the Second World War. And
it was built in 1929.
1929, perfect, before the Second World War. Yep. And the owner apparently died. Oh, he went bankrupt, and then he died in the house. Yep. And during the Japanese occupation, it was occupied by the Japanese army, who was supposed to have executed several Catholic nuns in like the front.
Supposedly, it's never been proven.
Yeah, that's the story. You have to check out one of my videos, right? I'll post a link for that later. But this place is actually huge, and it's got a view over the bay. What view does it have, Snarky? What does it look over?
It actually looks over the reservoir, not actually over the city. It's on the back part of the Victoria Peak. Overlooks the reservoir. There was a guy that actually lived there during the 50s. His name was Gerald Blitz. He lives in the Philippines now. And he said that he didn't think it was actually haunted, that just the property management was trying to devalue it on purpose.
Yeah, I had that too.
So who knows these days? So
there's a story about the sound of the crying girl there as well. And actually, when I went into that place, I heard the crying girl.
Really?
The building is not flush to. It's kind of built on the cliff face, and it's not flush to the cliff face. but as the wind flows between the building and the cliff face, it makes this kind of noise. And
There you go.
I think that's where the story of like the crying girl comes from. Heinrich is saying he's in
Heinrich's in Ireland. Hey,
what? It's a typical Irish name, right?
Very.
Heinrich, isn't that German?
Heinrich O'Donnelly.
Yeah, right.
So Bowen's asking, Burbex, are you in Shanghai?
I am in Shanghai. I've lived in Shanghai about 3 years now.
Where Paul is.
I'm in Zhongshan, Guangdong. Yeah.
Oh.
Now, for those who are not,
but you guys, Burbex and Snarky, you guys kind of there's so many vloggers in Shanghai. You guys are part of this group that kind of help out each other and help each other out with how to get into this and everything. That's really, really cool. We don't really have anything like that down here in the South.
Yeah, I think there's kind of this word that gets used a lot, which is community, but it's actually very difficult to find a community of YouTubers because we all hate each other, really. You know, like you guys are laughing, but you both know it's true. You know, like we all want to get 1 foot up on each other. We'll collaborate with each other.
Healthy competition.
We'll collaborate with each other.
Trying to get one of us arrested by the Hong Kong police.
Yeah, but I'll help out anybody. I'm not the biggest YouTuber in the world, but I'll help people out as much as I can.
No, you're big in the community. I've heard your name thrown around by some of the guys up there, and they say you're a big help to them.
Oh, really? Yeah. I didn't know that people talked about me.
There you go.
It's good to know, though.
Yeah.
So Paul, tell us about some cool places you've explored.
In China? There's a place in Shanghai that I went to out there last time I was out there earlier in the year. The Muller Villa. You guys familiar with the Muller Villa? It's in the old French concession out there. When I came out to see you out there, that's where I was staying. I stayed out there for a couple nights, and
you gave me a tour of it, a brief tour when I was there.
Oh, did I take you inside? I don't. Yeah. So it's an old mansion on the outskirts of the French concession that was converted into a hotel. I don't know, like 20, 30 years ago. Anyways, it's gorgeous inside. It was built in like the 1920s. It looks like a Scandinavian castle. And the guy who built it was a British Jew who had shipbuilding and everything, but he made all his money in horse racing. And in the garden are statues to his old horses and to his dog. And legend has it he buried his old animals throughout the property there. And at night, there are animals that roam, different types of animals that roam all around those gardens. And they say they're looking for, I don't know, the ghosts. Or I didn't experience any kind of ghostly things at that one. You guys know I used to be a hotel manager, and I have experienced that phenomenon in my hotel life. But not in China.
Is that an abandoned place, or is that
no? It's very popular. Yeah, it's extremely popular.
Wait, it's super posh.
Yeah, it's extremely posh. It's pretty high end, and but the history behind it is fantastic. And you know, those little hidden corners, especially in places like Shanghai. Not many, as big as Shanghai is, it can kind of get lost in the shuffle of everything else. So if Burbex, if you haven't gone there, man, I know you like to explore abandoned places, but it's still worthy of a visit and learn a little bit about the history.
I like spooky places as well, though.
Yeah, sure. And it is a little spooky, especially at night. It looks like the Haunted Mansion from Disneyland at night. The way it's all lit up and everything. It does. It looks just like it.
Has it got like pebble? Is it like pebbled on the outside? Like lots of pebbles stuck to the walls and stuff on the outside.
It looks like a castle.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a fairy tale castle, right?
Yeah, it looks like something from Disneyland, dude. Seriously, it's a combination of Sleeping Beauty's castle and the Haunted Mansion. And when you go inside, it's extremely ornate inside.
Yeah. I think I know where the place is. It's quite expensive to eat there, right?
I actually didn't eat there, so I was out enjoying the French concession.
Yeah.
We had tacos. We ate at a Mexican restaurant around the corner.
The tacos, yes.
Gotta love the tacos.
You gotta love the tacos, right?
You miss it, don't you?
Yeah. We have a question here. Someone's saying, how do expats in China celebrate Christmas when they are away from home?
Great question.
Well, I guess I'll take that one. My fiance, she is Czech, and we basically had a big Czech Christmas, which includes lots of Czech beer, lots of schnitzels. I've never eaten so many schnitzels in my life. Potato salad, that's a Czech thing as well. And in advance of Christmas, Czech people make about 1 billion Christmas cookies called shushenki. And so we've been eating those. I actually was fasting before Christmas as well. I did intermittent fasting to get ready for the amount of food I was going to eat. And I was so full yesterday. And the great thing is, because I live in a house now, like maybe last time you saw me, I lived in the apartment, but now I actually live in a house. So I can have lots of guests come over as well. And that's what I like about living in a house, is that, I can invite people over. And when you stay in Shanghai or stay in China a long time, people come and they go and they come and they go. And it can often feel very lonely here, especially at Christmas and especially at New Year. So I think it's important to bring people over. So if anybody wants to come over in China and stay at my house, everybody's welcome. And my YouTube channel as well. Everybody's welcome to come on it. I'm just a host in general. I don't know. Did that answer the question? I don't know.
I think it did. Actually, I'd
Yeah.
love to come over since Bunny's in Hong Kong right now, and it's just me and Skittles.
Yeah, come over. It's a bit of a trek. I live in the countryside, actually.
I know where you. I know approximately you live. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty far out.
There you go. So Paul, Bryn, where have you trekked and visited recently that's kind of cool? Or any stories about places you visited? Bryn.
Are you talking to Bren? Or
you hear me?
Yeah, Bren.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. It's you, buddy. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Oh, talking to me. Sorry, I got distracted by the comments. The place I explored most recently, one of the largest lakes in southern China is called Taihu Lake. It's a couple of hours away from Shanghai, and it's just like a hotspot for abandoned places. And one of them, which I'd heard about for a long time, is an abandoned Buddha factory. And there's like this whole town which used to make wooden Buddhas. And some you can actually still go there and see them making these wooden Buddhas. But there's an abandoned wooden Buddha factory there, which is super, super spooky. I'll put a link for it later. And you go there and there's just not millions, hundreds of these wooden Buddhas everywhere, like almost too heavy to move. Got the fat laughing Buddha, you got like the Buddha Vista, the female Buddha, and then there's all these different body parts as well. And there's all these little puppets that they made as well, like these puppets which go on strings, and they tell Buddhist stories. Like you got Buddhist demons. There's like little demons. Buddhist demons often have like an eye in the middle of their forehead, like this.
Okay.
Vertically, not horizontally though. And there's also a rumor that if you go there at night and turn on your radio, you can actually hear like all these strange, otherworldly voices. I didn't do that because it was too cold, but apparently those signals actually come from a nearby military base, which is kind of secret. So that was a really awesome adventure. And then we'd actually gone looking for that because I go exploring with my Italian friend Mirko, and we go to all these places, and then we just randomly drive around. Like I've got a driving license here. I just randomly drive around, and I get to this gigantic abandoned temple. And I mean like gigantic. It's huge. It's like 18-story pagoda, and it's got all the complex around it. And he and I, we've both got like this, he's better at it than I am, but we've both got like this spidey sense of if something's abandoned, and we creep in and, like we climb over fences and maybe cut chains or give a window a nudge. That will be my next video. Dave Pesek, he says he's got a question. Yeah, Dave, what's your question?
So why don't you continue while he's typing his question?
Oh, okay. So yeah, we got some really awesome footage from there. The thing is, I just got a new computer. I got the new Apple M1. Is it called M1? The Apple Mini M1.
Yes.
I'm still learning how to use this.
We both have those.
We got
Yeah,
it. That's awesome.
yes.
That's the one to
This
have.
thing is- Oh, I can see one in the background.
Yeah,
I've got one right under here.
This thing
Mine's
is
under the
dynamite.
monitor.
It's amazing.
It's so fast. It's so cold as well. Like when you touch it, it's Jesus, mine is ice cold.
It doesn't heat up.
No,
it doesn't.
like
It's silent.
the other thing I got is like the trackpad. I just got this today.
Ooh,
This was my Christmas present, and
nice.
that thing, I'm still learning to use that, but I've got a feeling it's going to speed up my video production. So hopefully there'll be more videos in 2022.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
We didn't get Dave's question.
Here's
Maybe
his
like,
question.
has your looks got anything to do with it? What? Do I look abandoned? I don't understand the question, Dave. What's the?
You mentioned you like abandoned and haunted places. Has your looks? I think he's implying you look like you're homeless, and therefore you can get in easier.
Oh yeah. Well, this is actually. He's making a joke though, right? But you know, a lot of people I know that do this activity, like exploring abandoned places, they might get into it because they're like feeling depressed or maybe something bad has happened to them, and they kind of go to these places as an alternative to therapy or something. Going to a fucked up place kind of makes you feel better almost. And you know, like I don't know, like 10 years ago when I was feeling pretty down, I would go to abandoned places and you feel better. It's a great kind of therapy, and I think it actually built up my confidence a lot. I didn't used to be as confident as I am now. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And you know, like when I take people with me as well, people often say things to me like, "Oh, I can't do that." You know, like going over a fence or going through a window or going up a ladder or something. And I try to encourage people to do it. You know, like for example, if Snarky was with me at that haunted mansion, he definitely would have got in because I would have pushed him up. In fact, I've helped Snarky before get up onto the abandoned. Was it a MiG 19 or a MiG 21? I can't remember.
I believe it was a MiG. It was a MiG 19.
MiG 19, right?
Yep.
Oh wait, Dave is saying I look like a bat. Oh, okay, that's cool.
There you go. Why not?
I guess that's a good thing. Don't eat the
Why
bats. Yeah, why not?
There you go. So that Buddha factory, where was that?
It's near Taihu Lake. If you go on Little Red Book is 小红书 in Chinese. You can find it on there, but it's kind of a secret location.
I
It's
love
an open secret, let's say.
There we go.
I'm gonna check
All
that
right.
out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Where can I post the link to that?
You probably just post that in the chat, and that'll see that there. Or you,
I can't write anything in the comments. I can in the private chat. I'll send it to you, and you can
drop it in
post
the private chat, and I'll just copy and paste it in there.
Yeah, and there is and Snarky,
So-
there is a little duplication whenever you put a chat in there. For some reason, it duplicates me saying it too. I don't know why. I am logged out of your account, so that's strange.
I just
I don't
put it in the private chat, so you should be able to put that up now.
Okay.
All right. Well, there's a link there. So from Burbex. So I thought it was going to be one of those places in the more off the beaten path. You're talking about the Buddha factory. Several years back, I want to say this was 2003. My dad and I took a trip out to Zhejiang province. Does anybody know where that is?
It's not far from here.
So, it's quite far. Quite far, actually. It's near was it Fujian province, if I'm not mistaken?
Oh, Fujian.
Yes, near Fujian.
Fujian. Okay.
We'd heard about this little village called Guan that makes swords. And so they make the whole village, they make swords. And so My dad didn't want to go, and we ended up kind of talking him into it. So my dad and I got on this bus from a village we were in, and it was about an 800-kilometer bus ride.
Jesus.
800 kilometers on this bus that was backfiring the whole way. Sounded like a small gun going off, and it had wooden seats.
Yeah.
There was no bathroom. Yeah, I'm talking about the bus ride from hell, right?
Yeah.
There's no bathrooms on this bus, but they did stop in a small town for some dog meat wraps.
Ugh.
Personally, I thought it tasted a little rough.
Oh,
I know that.
Okay.
No, that's a terrible joke.
That one. Okay.
You expect nothing less. So we finally get to this little town called Guan, and they did sell the swords. It's like a circus. There's all these shops all over the place selling all manner of pointy things for like dirt freaking cheap. I mean, like seriously cheap, like 10 kwai for a knife and 30 kwai for a sword, which is
so how many did you buy?
For those of you who don't know, that's like $1.50 US or under $5 for a sword, and the quality wasn't bad. So, but to answer your question, we went nuts. We absolutely went nuts. We're like buying these rapiers and swords and long swords. We even bought some ninja swords because why not?
Why not?
So we're just buying all this stuff. And I don't know if it was because there's all this stuff, it's cheap, it's going to our head, or because, we're taking photos, we're testing everything out, we're making, everything else. We missed the bus going back.
Oh God.
And I don't know quite how it happened, because that bus was backfiring like seriously loud. So we should have heard it, but we didn't. And so here we are, a couple of chubby white guys holding 2 armfuls of cutlery in a small village with no other form of transportation. And this is 2003, so neither of us have a cell phone either.
Oh no.
And to make matters worse, we didn't have our ID with us. And so we're trying to figure out what to do at this point. So we start going around, we got all these, armfuls of swords. We're like walking around, and they won't at that time, this is 2003. So there wasn't a lot of hotels that would let foreigners stay in them in most big cities. Forget this small town. No one's going to stay in a hotel. Plus, we didn't have any ID with us either. And we're 2 big white guys with a whole bunch of swords, going around. We're trying to figure out what to do. And so every single Spike Lee film I've seen tells me this doesn't end well. Usually with us getting, gacked, raped, and robbed, not necessarily in that order. And so what do we do, right? We're going around, trying to figure out what we can do. We can't find a phone even to call anyone. And this guy in a trench coat walks up to us, Chinese guy, walks up to us and starts looking at us. And we're thinking, that's it. We're dead. We're dead. And he asks us, he's like, so you guys need any help? Perfect English. Absolutely perfect English. Like, yes. As a matter of fact, we do. Turns out this guy was local police. So I'm expecting him just to take us to the police station or maybe talk to a local hotel on our behalf. No, he freaking drives us to Guangzhou.
Jesus.
How long of a drive is that?
Yeah.
It took us about 800 kilometers to get there. And I think it's longer because we were in some small town. It ends up taking us the rest of the evening, all night, and a good portion of the morning to actually get back to Guangzhou. He drives us the whole way.
Two guys filled with knives and swords. Hey, how about you take a long road trip overnight with me to Guangzhou?
Loaded all our swords in the trunk, and he's just talking to us. Wow. And the guy, it turns out he had gone to university in Boston, so he spoke perfect English. And we finally get to Guangzhou. We offered to pay him. He's like, no, that's okay. He said he wanted to drive us back because it'd be a great story to tell everybody back at the police station, and it kept him from doing any menial task. He's like, oh yeah, and if you guys are killed, I don't really want to do the paperwork.
Mm.
True story, right?
Thanks.
True story.
So yeah. So turns out it's it all worked out. So, and we had a lot of cool swords too. So yay. So yeah. He's like, that's crazy. Yes, it was.
It says here that I look like the guy from Hotel Transylvania.
So as an,
it means you have good facial features, man.
Yeah, I think it's the cheekbones. I think.
Yeah.
I've actually lost a lot of weight this week. Since I started the intermittent fasting, I've lost a lot of weight, which has been good. I like that. But Snarky was just talking about like run-ins with the police. Like, fortunately, I never get any run-ins with the police. I go out with my Italian friend, and he seems to be less lucky than I am. Like sometimes we went to the shipyards in Shanghai one time, and a lot of the shipyard area has like these huge cranes and these machines and these factory areas, and we just jumped over the back wall, which has had like barbed wire on it, but we're both quite agile, and we go around there. And actually, I got caught one time there. The first time I went there, I actually got caught by security guards. I don't normally get caught, but they thought.
What did you do?
Well, they actually thought that I was a stowaway from one of the ships. Because they bring ships in to scrap them, like they bring them into, it's along the river there, and they actually thought I was like a stowaway from Sweden or somewhere like that, and they said like, let us see your passport. So they took a photo of it, and then they said, how did you get in here? And then I showed them how I got in, and they didn't believe me. Like they literally thought that they literally thought it was more likely that I was a stowaway on a ship rather than jumping over that barbed wire fence. But then they checked my passport and just let me go. And they gave me a cup of hot water as well because I was cold that day.
Oh, because hot water cures everything.
So good hospitality. Yeah. But then
headaches, cancer,
my Italian friend, the same thing happened to my Italian friend, and they kept him there for like 3 hours. And he actually like called me, and I pretended to be, like I did my thickest Northeast accent. I was like, and like just pretending to be like a drunk Dongbei guy, and somehow I got him off the hook. So that worked out pretty well. Wow, Heinrich.
Thanks for the beer, brother.
15 euros for beer. Heinrich, cheers. You are awesome. That's a lot of beer. That's like about 5
in China,
cans
that's 5 beers. Yeah, that's 5 beers.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Dankeschön. I don't know.
I think in Ireland they say thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. What do they say? How do you say cheers in Irish?
Cheers.
They usually hit you inside the jaw.
Yeah.
Bam. Cheers.
I just know I got a lot of Irish blood in me, and I don't even know, man.
Yeah. I just know, like, what's the crack, right?
There you go. Yeah. So Paul, where else have you been that's cool, man?
Oh, shoot. I don't have stories like Burbex, man. Back in LA, I would do the urban exploration thing with my friends and everything. There was a lot of abandoned warehouses and stuff like that, and it was so much fun. Here in China, I don't think I have the cojones to try that out a little bit as much as you, brother.
Guangdong's like a hotspot, though. There's a lot of
totally. Oh yeah, I pass by it all the time.
There's some abandoned amusement park there, which has like a full-size space shuttle.
Really?
You could look that up. Like Guangdong space shuttle.
It's not Chanlong. Chanlong's not abandoned, dude. That is not abandoned. Chanlong's pretty packed.
Okay. Also,
there's a million amusement parks out here, though.
I explored an abandoned prison. It used to be the largest prison in Guangdong province. There used to be executions in this prison as well. That's one of the things I did this summer. That place was awesome. I like broke into a prison. It's a bit like in Prison Break. You break into a prison, and that worked out really well. I could put a link for that one.
How'd you
can
get
go
in
there as
there?
well. Huh?
How did you get in?
Well, to begin with, we went to the front gates, and the front gates were locked. And so actually I went round. I mean, this prison is gigantic. It's more like a town than a prison. So I went round the walls trying to find a way in, and I found some rope. And then I climbed up onto the roof of the gate, tied the rope to the top, and then looked down and decided it was too high and I didn't want to climb down. So I went back to the gate, took out my Leatherman. Do I have my Leatherman here? I do have my Leatherman here.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
no. Oh, you got one as well?
Fuck yeah.
This
Standard
one
issue,
is
brother.
this is the Leatherman
Greatest-
Signal.
Oh,
This
you got
thing
a
is
better one.
awesome.
Yeah.
This thing can light a fire. And actually,
No.
I used
Mine's a Leatherman, it's a small one.
This thing,
I
this
used
thing,
one
this
of the
thing will last
tools
your
on-
whole life. Yeah.
I used one of the tools on here, and I actually picked the lock of the gate,
Not the size.
the
I
main
use
gate
it.
of the prison, and went in. So that worked out really well. And that prison is incredible. And in fact, you're not supposed to take souvenirs, but sometimes I do. I found these prison keys. These are actual.
Dude, that looks like
keys
something out of
from-
Pirates of the Caribbean, man. Look at that
Yeah.
thing, dude. You expect it to be
And
hanging
look
from a
at-
dog's mouth or
Look
something.
at the
Yeah, look at
symbol on
that.
it as well. It's
That-
beautiful,
wow.
right?
Cool.
Yeah.
I got a whole bunch of these. Yeah.
The other thing I got is my Crambit beyond that. So,
What's that
That's-
thing?
That's for
Crambit.
protection at night, right?
Oh.
so
It's an anti-rapist
keeps you safe from little old men on the
Yeah,
line too.
brass knuckles.
Lots of people want to rape Jimmy, actually. He's
That's true.
It's a sexy
The,
beast.
the takeaways, I still have my sex appeal.
yeah.
So
I'll tell you one story.
So,
I was in Guangzhou, and we were talking about the police. The only run-in I've had with the police was I was in Guangzhou, and you know, in Guangzhou, at a certain time, the train stopped running, right? So I'm in the subway. I'm trying to get back to my hotel, and then the train stopped. This is my third week in China. I spoke no Chinese. I a complete newbie, and so I went outside. Everyone's getting in the taxi cab, and I had my little iPhone there, and I showed the taxi cab, right? And I just wanted to take me to this hotel, right? So he kind of squinted at it, and he's like, I can't really see it. So all right. So I put it in the window a little bit, and then he snagged it and then drove off.
Whoa.
The dude sniped my phone, and he drove off with the back door open, through the red light, through the intersection in front of everybody, and nobody batted an eye.
Wow.
And I was like, what the hell? What the fuck? So I was just asking around, does anyone speak English? Can anyone help me? And a lovely couple did. They saw what happened, and then the police came. And they were trying to tell the police what happened, and they're looking up at the camera, saying, "Hey, check the cameras. It's a taxi cab." And all the cops did was just laugh at me, and I can laugh, laugh at me. I went back to the police station. I stayed there for 2 or 3 hours, and then finally, look, guys, I can't get back to my hotel. They drove me to the American consulate in Guangzhou. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and said, "Okay," and knock on the door and have at it. They didn't push me out of the van, but they basically said, they pulled up to the van, opened the door, and said, "Okay, you're done. Come on out." And then they just left me in front of the front door of the American consulate, and of course the security guards there were like, "Well, we're closed. There's nothing we can do," And I had no money, and all I had was my passport. Thank God, I was able to get a place to stay for the night. But I mean, that was my only experience with the police. And
I think the best thing to do with police in China is just don't get involved with them at all.
Absolutely.
They don't take foreigners. If we have problems, they don't take them seriously at all.
That's been my experience in the big cities. Here in my city, the police are actually really, really cool. They're some of the coolest guys ever. You go and get your temporary registration done at the police station. I got pulled over. They have these roadblocks. They're checking paperwork. You pull over, you get out, you show them your driver's license and everything. They looked at mine. They're like, "Hey," and they're inviting all their friends. "Hey, let's get a photo." And they just wanted a selfie, in front of at the middle of the traffic stop. All the guys get a selfie. All right, okay, go ahead. They didn't even ask to see my insurance or anything. They're just like, "Cool," and then take off.
Most of the police in Shanghai are pretty cool. Actually, I've got a couple of questions here. someone asked me, can you take those swords to the U.S.? Yes, you can, but you have to check them. They kind of freak out a little bit if you walk into the main cabin of the plane holding large rapiers and, long swords and whatever else. So you have to check them, but then you're fine. So someone's saying, what area of China would be the best for a newbie? Big city or smaller city? Northern China, southern or west?
Definitely big city.
I would say for newbie, Shanghai is probably a great place to start. Super
Shenzhen too.
Shenzhen, you don't
probably
have to learn a lot of Chinese.
Yeah, Shenzhen. That's like a good kindergarten.
Shenzhen is great. I agree. You definitely don't want to go to like a really small town right away unless you know somebody, because if you don't speak very much Chinese, also there's a lot of people are not going to be able to help you because it is what it is.
Yeah,
but
my first city in China was Changchun, and I lived there for about, I think, totally maybe 1 or 2 years. And
where is that?
Changchun is up in the dirty northeast of China, and it's a very industrial city. There was where it used to be the capital city of Japanese occupied Manchuria. So
okay.
And it's also the birthplace of Falun Gong, the cult as well. So it's a very
wonderful claims to fame for China, right?
It's a very bleak place, and I spent my first years there. And then my opinion is that if you're going to come to China, you should just jump in feet first, or head first, feet first, it doesn't matter. And because then you start to really appreciate how good places like Beijing and Shanghai actually are. Shanghai is a paradise.
It's a world-class city, definitely.
People criticize China a lot, but I feel safer in Shanghai than anywhere else. Even more than Beijing. We're probably the safest with regards to COVID right now. We're probably the safest city in the world. I can't imagine any city is safer than Shanghai right now. I think and the great thing is we still have that culture, we still have that nightlife. There's a lot of things we can't do anymore, but there's so much you can still do in Shanghai. The fact that I can go out and bust into abandoned buildings, and the fact that I can still do these things in COVID shows that Shanghai is fucking amazing. And I used to be completely in love with Beijing, but I'm kind of in love with Shanghai now. There's things that piss me off about it.
Yes, I have heard of Guy Fieri. Yeah, he does the food shows.
Who's Guy Fieri?
So
is he a chef?
Bowen's asking. He is a chef. Yeah, he's a dude with a really bright hair. He's a chef. He does food shows. Yeah. Bowen is asking, Burbex, does Shanghai have Omicron?
I don't know, like 1 or 2 cases, right? I think Xi'an's been hit by Omicron, but Shanghai's pretty tight about it.
Wasn't that
Shanghai's got it all under control?
The big guy in the Transformers movie that was voiced by Orson Welles?
I don't know. Omicron? Wasn't there a computer?
I think Rojo got that. That was a bad, very bad. I dated myself there too. But so as far as going into places, I may have you all beat. I accidentally got myself into a sex toy manufacturer in Dongguan.
They're everywhere in Guangdong. These sex toy doll places, they are a dime. They're everywhere here. Everyone works for these places.
Yes. So a couple years back, Serpent ZA, everybody knows him. He was bragging about he just got 100,000 subscribers and got his big 100,000 subscriber plaque, and said they were made in a factory in Dongguan. And I thought, you know what? I'm not there yet. That'd make a really cool video to go visit that shop that made these YouTube 100,000 subscriber plaques. And so I looked up the location and called them, and the receptionist, in really broken her English, she confirmed location and said it was okay for me to come by and look at it. I'm like, okay, cool, you know. It wasn't far from me because I was just outside Dongguan in this little tier 88 city. So okay, I show up the factory and it says Welkin outside, and I'm like, it's kind of weird, you know, whatever else. And the building was like super filthy. I mean, like the whole building had been, you know, huffing Russian ciggies for like 30 years. The windows are taped over, and this layer of grease on the bricks outside reminded me like of an old potato chip factory or something. But oddly enough, the gates and the guard shack are just like new, pristine, and whatever else. You know, it says it's like a Hong Kong, you know, manufacturer called Welkin outside, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So I asked the security guard, and I get the wave off. So I don't know if you ever gotten the wave off.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, where you got someone that's like, you know, you know, they get lost, whatever else. And so, you know, okay, whatever. I kind of just hang out, and, you know, and the guy, you know, kind of ignored me, whatever else. And I figured I'd go back after lunch and try again. So I go back after lunch, and I get the wave off again. So I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna go find another entrance. So I found another entrance, and I get into this factory, and I go in. There's no reception desk at all. Can't find anyone. So I'm like, okay. So I start wandering around this factory, and like nobody's paying any attention to the chubby white guy walking around his factory.
You don't stand out at all.
Whatever
No way.
else, you know. Yeah, this happens all the time. You know, big white dudes come and walk around our factory, and there's all these signs that are in German and English, or in German and Chinese, but nothing in English. I'm like, okay. So I start looking around, and I figure out, looking at the assembly line, the boxes, they're packing up vibrators. And I'm thinking, maybe they make multiple products. I don't know. So I'm looking around. I'm asking.
They make
people,
YouTube signs and.
Yeah. And so I'm trying to ask people. I'm looking for a big sign, you know, like this. And so the guys, they're trying to put these things in my hand, like, I'm looking for the YouTube.
They're putting these dildos in your hands and say, "Try it."
Yeah, they're trying to put it in my hands. You know, no, YouTube, and like, okay, you know, I saw. So I called the receptionist number again, and she's like, "I don't see you." I think I was in the wrong spot, obviously. So.
That's good, man.
Well, you can make a really bad joke there with being in the wrong spot, couldn't you?
I got one for you, man. Here in Zhongshan, they make those wax figures for celebrities and everything. Those, you know, sort of lifelike wax figures, right? So I got a tour of their factory, and I got to meet the head designer and everything. Went into the area where, you know, they first gather all the data, and then they do like like 3D modeling on a computer before they actually do the wax. So I'm filming, and I got the camera looking at me, and I'm talking about it, and the dude is modeling some guy's ass crack. I mean, he's literally like drawing the ass in, you know, as I'm like talking about, this is 3D modeling, right? It's in the video. And it wasn't even like a nice ass crack. It was like some famous Arab guy, and it was a naked 3D model of him, all anatomically correct completely. And I'm like, this dude's whole life is to model real people, taking photos and everything, anatomically correct, and he has to get the ass perfect for everyone he draws. It's not just the big celebrities, you know, the good-looking people, but it's not so good-looking people too. Every computer was filled with these naked 3D models of everyone.
But I think I can take that story one step further as well, right? So, when I lived in Beijing, you know, I used to actually be quite famous in Beijing for like exploring and stuff, and people would contact me and say, "Can I come exploring with you?" And then one day I get like this request on WeChat from somebody called Brian. I didn't know who this person was. He's this bald guy, tall bald guy in his picture. So like he sends me a message and he says like, have you been exploring in this place before? And I said no, and like he gives me the details, and then I ask him, well, what do you do? It's like making small talk. And then I said to him, what do you do? And he says, I sell sex toys. And I thought he was joking. I really thought this was a joke. And so I said to him, okay, so what's your best-selling sex toy? And he said, Auto Blow 2. And I really thought he was joking. And like, we just had this bullshit conversation. Later on, I take his name and I type in Auto Blow 2 Brian. And then it pops up that Auto Blow 2 is one of the best-selling sex toys in the whole world. And this guy, who's called Brian Sloan, invented it. There was even like an article with Brian Sloan in Playboy magazine about how important this sex toy was. Now, the innovation behind this sex toy is that it's a bit like a fleshlight. So I've heard. I don't know what a fleshlight looks like. It's a bit like a fleshlight, right?
Okay.
It's a bit like a fleshlight, right? But his genius, his innovation for this was that he had a competition to. How can I say this? He had the most beautiful vagina in the world competition, and then people like sent pictures of their vaginas to Brian Sloan, and eventually somebody won this competition. I don't know how they judged that, and then that person gets invited in. They do like a 3D scan of that person's vagina, and then they stick it. Then they make like this mold of it, and then they stick it on the fleshlight. And then later that developed into this company actually going to famous porn actresses, making molds of their vaginas, so you could actually buy your favorite porn star's vagina and then put it on the head of this sex toy, and that's how he got famous. Later, he actually went on to have another competition, which was who had the most beautiful anus, and then there's like the anus fitting as well.
And this is just some random dude that contacted you to wanted to like explore abandoned places in Beijing. Just some random guy, and he's like, he's the world's greatest vagina guy.
This is the kind of people I need. I've met so many interesting people doing this. It's incredible.
I want to know how you judge who had the most attractive anus. What do you sit there and do a blind survey? We surveyed 100 anus.
It's like a field test.
Which anus looks the most attractive? I mean, what factors would you judge it? The attractiveness, lack of skid marks. I mean, at what point? I don't know how you would judge this sort of thing.
Oh my god!
I have no idea. I think it was like an open poll or something.
Oh my god!
Well, I just if it was open, you would never mind. Wow.
It always dissolves into a conversation like this, does it not?
The last I heard from him was he said he was in. The last I heard from him, he was in Berlin making like animal sex toys as well, so you could buy like Alsatian or Labrador dicks like that. But that means like this guy was going around like taking 3D molds of like animal dicks. And like, it's very specific. I think I've lost Rojo.
I think Snarky's going to lose monetization on this video.
Yeah.
Wow. So hey, you just got a sub there.
Oh, good job.
So,
you've just subbed to the Vampire channel.
Oh yes, and of course, someone says, "Can it shoot golf balls?"
Oh,
ping pong.
Because that's a picture
of
a sex toy. Not interested, in the attractiveness of the anus. Can it shoot golf balls? Apparently, that's what you look for.
Well, Snarky, you've been to Tijuana, right? You know how it goes, right?
Yeah, well, it's anything. What happens in Tijuana stays in Tijuana.
No, it comes
supposedly. Ew.
I had to go there, right?
Cover ears, man. You're too young to hear this. Cover ears.
Poor Skittles.
Poor Skittles. Yeah.
What about, does Skittles have a nice butt?
What?
I don't know. It's a cat butt. I mean, Okay.
Cat butt. That's a fetish, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
well-
let's move on from this.
We have-
Maybe the audience needs to help us move on from this.
Quick,
definitely.
ask a few questions.
Yes. So there you go. Oh, Sayas, I apparently I was right about the Transformers thing. There we go. So, oh yes, with Jamaica, he was saying Winston never actually went inside that place. So that's true. So yeah, it's what it is. Jamaica, fuck you need to get together. I want to
Oh no!
video.
Internet
Speaking of
kerfuffles.
videos, yes, I love looking at kerfuffle. It rears ugly head again. So, we're about give everyone a chance to see what new videos you guys have coming out in the near future. Burbex, what you have coming out in the near future, my friend?
Burbex, the remix.
Burbex is coming out of the auto.
Yeah, give it a minute. It'll pass. It'll pass in a second. Yeah. Yeah, this is what we get for streaming in China, man. This happens sometimes. Give it a second. Give it a second. 3, 2,
Take a breath.
1. There it is. We're back. Okay. Try
So
again. dude.
actually, I went.
On the sexy lights now. So
Maybe that's the secret, man.
So- Are we
on
Sexy
still?
lights. Yeah, the sexy lights will
So,
bring us back.
I heard my name and the whole show
Oh, there
got
we
yep. So
Wait, do it again,
Is it
Burbex.
someone
standing
on the
We didn't hear
fiber
you,
cable?
brother. Yeah, we didn't hear you, dude.
So recently I went to Chongqing, and in Chongqing there was a skyscraper, a 1980 skyscraper, and when it was built in 1989, it was the tallest building.
Man, we lost him again, dude. Yeah, it's that countryside connection, maybe. Yeah.
yeah. Did you guys have there you go. So
It'll come back. It comes back in
Paul.
time. Yeah, hi. All right, we'll get Burbex back here in a second. So for me,
we will.
coming out soon, I got my end of year review, and I recently went to train with the Zhongshan Fire and Rescue Team, which was awesome. I got to live out my childhood fantasy of training with the firefighters, you know, going up on the ladder, going into the rooms with the simulated smoke and real fire and putting that out and racing to get the gear on and throw the hoses out, putting out fires. That was so much fun. And so that's coming out on my channel soon, as well as more food, more car. I'm going to Beijing for the first time in 2 weeks.
Ooh.
I'm going to go hang out with Baidu and do a little walkabout of Beijing, including the Rosewood Hotel, which is, in my opinion, probably the most luxurious hotel in Beijing. So I'm going to be staying there. And other than that, some camping and some hiking. Yeah, it's going to be great, man. I my first time going to Beijing. I'm going to freeze my ass. Here's one thing for you. One of the places I'm staying is in the Hutongs. And it's 1,000 renminbi per night to stay in this Hutong hotel. So it's supposed to be really, really luxurious, but it's so expensive. And the whole idea is they want you to experience what a hotel was like back in the day. So to take a hot shower, you have to first heat up the water in your room with a wood burning stove to heat up your water, and then you can take a hot shower. Yet they still charge you 1,000 renminbi per night. So it's gonna be a crazy week there, man.
Sounds like some low overhead, definitely. So yes. So
Burbex, man, we gotta get Burbex back.
I guess.
Yeah.
Burbex, try again. Come back, Burbex.
Well, he says,
so
in 1980s, abandoned skyscraper in Chongqing, man. Have you been to Chongqing, Snarky?
I have not.
Dude, it is an incredible city.
Not.
It's a huge.
I'd
It's like
love to go. I just
it's as big as Shanghai or Shenzhen or Guangzhou, but it's got like a grit to it
bigger.
that it may be, yeah, but it's mountainous and bridges and incredible skyscrapers, and there's a grittiness to it that is, I don't know, I want to say it's more masculine than say Shenzhen. It's an awesome city.
Yeah.
Spicy beef on every corner. You got to check it out, man.
So, supposedly Chongqing's got like 30 million people, which is bigger than Shanghai. I
Right.
want to say it's like one of the biggest cities in the world after like Mumbai and Tokyo.
Hardly
So-
anybody in the West has ever heard of it. You know, you hear Chongqing, you're like, where's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
What's amazing is the geography it's built on. It's like built on these mountains, and it's oh yeah, Burbex nailed it. It is very
Yeah.
cyberpunk.
Yes.
I'm getting the feeling Burbex is just texting. He may not be
Yeah.
actually be coming back.
Yeah.
So
It's straight out of a
it
1980s
is what
sci-fi
it is.
movie, man. It is really amazing, especially at night. And the
it
fog
is.
rolls in,
I
and neon
really
lights
would love
everywhere.
to go.
Do it, dude. Do it. It's
Yeah,
not an expensive city. For a
definitely.
big city, it's one of the cheaper big cities in China. So you can go there and you can have a ball. You really can. And it's easy to get around. The
Yeah.
transportation network's incredible. But of course, the food. I mean, you just the barbecue on the street. You just walk around and get some spicy beef, get some noodles. It's great. The hot pot. Yeah, I know, right? Okay, I know
I
it's
would
late. You're
love
getting
that.
hungry, right?
Yeah,
Well, what about
that's
you,
true.
dude? We lost
That's true.
Burbex, but what's coming out for you, man? I'm so happy
Well,
you're
we-
making videos
we did-
again.
we
We all
did-
need to applaud Snarky for coming back. We all
Well-
miss him so much, man.
Well, I've got several things in the pike. I just did a video about looking for video games in Shanghai, and I have a part 2 of that series I'm coming out with. Bunny and I were going to be doing a series called Shanghai on My Wife's Budget.
I saw that. Yeah.
And that's where she's going to give me a certain amount of money, and I have to make it work. And you're going to go to like some 3 coffee shops, or 3 little things, maybe 3
In
underwear
Shanghai.
shops, who knows? And then we're gonna do like a little review on those. The other big thing I've got coming out is I'm actually starting a second channel. Just it's a more serious channel where I'm going to be talking about creative writing from a middle school teacher point of view.
Ah, I dig that, man. So it's going to
And
be kind of like
so
a how-to
that should be interesting.
kind of how-to
Yeah,
channel?
just I'm going to mainly focus on the vertical format, like the YouTube shorts, and just how to. So I've been Burbex says he's been pushing me to get back. Yes, he has been. Thank you. I need that gentle kick, which is a lot more gentle than my wife's kick, which is a lot harder. She likes to.
Well, Bunny's been in Hong Kong,
likes
you
to
said, and when the boss is away,
Yes,
you will play. And it's good to have you back
That's true.
playing, man.
So,
it really is. So we've missed you. We've missed
she'll
you
be
in
there
this
for a
community,
while.
dude. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm.
So I'm going to be making the videos on how to do writing for like middle school students. I'm going to call that 1 hot minute writing. So that should
What
be
is it
fun.
called?
I'm
What
going to be starting probably 1 hot minute writing.
Okay, so they're gonna be like little mini shorts, then mini videos.
Yeah, like
Okay.
the vertical format, like YouTube
Right.
shorts. And I'm going to be making those on creative writing, something to kind of help students out or whatever else. So it's another one of my passions. I actually do enjoy what I do. Kids
You
are great.
teach
You
teach
my wife says
literature,
I'm
right?
about 14.
You
I
teach
do.
literature.
I teach
yeah.
classic literature to grades 6, 7, and 8. So which means we read books and drink coffee. Actually, they read the books, I drink the coffee, and but I really enjoy what I do. It's all native speakers, and so we have a blast. Like I just finished up a unit on The Mandalorian with my kids.
What a great topic.
And so we
man. So
watched
you just
it-
get to watch The Mandalorian and talk about it.
Well, we didn't get to watch it because it's not all fun and games. We actually watched a little bit, talk about it, go over the themes like family and identity and who we are based on what we do and what happens to us. And we do a lot of different, creative writing exercise based on that. At the end of the unit, I had them design their own episode of the Mando.
So they like pitch?
that was
They had
fun.
to pitch it. Like pitch
Yeah,
it
they had
to
to
like
pitch
the
it like they were
producer?
talking to Disney executives. They had to come out with a 10-slide PPT on that, complete with artwork and everything else. 3-act structure. Beginning, middle, and end. rising action, conflict, and so we, the whole gambit. It wasn't just all fun and games. It was something they actually had to
cliffhanger,
do.
everything, right? Dude, you're speaking my
Absolutely,
language, man. I'm digging this. It's a great idea. It's one of I'm a proud teacher as well. So this is good stuff, man.
So that's the thing. I do enjoy what I do. I love the kids,
Yeah.
and everybody growing up, you had the strict teacher, the teacher you didn't like. You had the smelly teacher, the large teacher, and you had the fun teacher. And
Right.
I'm the fun teacher.
So yeah.
I like what I do. I like the kids because I can definitely relate to them. So Bowen says, yeah, I didn't know. Yes, I do teach. I love it. So it is something that I'm very passionate about, which is why I wanted to make that writing channel, which I'm going to be getting on pretty soon. Beyond that, we're going to be doing a lot of fun things too. I've got some big plans. I just released a Christmas episode that I actually shot in Hong Kong when I was there. Did that in Aloha Park. That was a lot of fun. Shot a lot of things, which may or may not be relevant now. So we'll see how much that I can release in the upcoming months. But beyond that, I'm definitely back and I'll be doing a lot more. I kind of, lost my video mojo at the beginning of the year after my mom passed away. And I guess it takes a little time. My channel didn't go down. It just kind of just stagnated at that point. So I'm kind of hoping to get that, traction going again.
Yeah, and I'm sorry you were down here in Guangdong during that time, and I really wanted to come see you, but COVID wouldn't let me at the time. There was a little bit of an outbreak and stuff like that, so I wasn't able to come see you.
Yeah, I didn't. The only one I got to see was Kung Fu Adam when I was down there. I was down in Dongguan. He actually drove me back to Huizhou.
Okay,
so,
well,
cool.
Dude, this is my backyard, man. I was just in Huizhou exploring and hiking out there, man. So next time you're in town, by the way, you mentioned recently because I went camping. I'm going camping next weekend in Shenzhen. You made a video about camping in Shanghai on the Bund.
Yes,
I saw that, but it's not real camping though. You're like, it's like during the day you just set up a tent to block from this. You don't sleep overnight there, do you?
People spend the night there too, though. There's in the park right on there. There's the Bund, and then there's the West Bund, which is not where all the tourists go. Mostly locals go there. They've got a skate park. They've got basketball, everything all set up there. Rock climbing, and people just kind of go and just set down the tent and camp right on the Bund.
And do they make tea and like have a little barbecue on the side or something that? Or?
They got barbecues, tea, the whole thing. Yeah. I mean,
next time I'm in Shanghai, dude, we're gonna do this, man. Because you didn't do it. You weren't camping there. You were just hanging out for the day, though. I saw the video.
I just rode my bike down there. It took me about I don't know. Bunny and I both rode down there on our pedal bikes. It took us like 45 minutes to ride there. So.
Next time I'm in, dude, that is an experience that we will tell our kids, when we're old.
Definitely.
Men. Yeah.
Definitely. Right, hey, someone says, hello, Paul. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Thank you very much.
Oh. Speaking of which,
the boss my boss is watching too, so
Yeah. She is my favorite human in the world. Yeah, but make no mistake, Bunny's the boss. Make no mistake.
Well, she's controlling your budget to go out. Yeah. Well, she's controlling your budget to go out, man. So you gotta
would be a wonderful place.
You got to give him more than 100 renminbi, Bunny. I mean, it's Shanghai. You don't let them just eat, street food. You got to let them go to like posh places, Put a little extra in there for him, all right? Would you? Just trying to help you out.
Definitely. Yeah, I appreciate it. I do. So, well, it looks like Burbex is not coming back. So, guys, please, I put some links in that down below. Please go ahead and if you haven't done so, sub to Burbex, sub to my friend Paul Walkabout Rojo here. Like anything else, guys, please go ahead and leave a like. It helps the algorithm a lot. And on that note, guys, we will catch you the next time. Always bring your can of sardines. You never know when you're gonna. Yes, I actually have 2 cans now. So picked up a spare in Hong Kong. This one's getting a little abused, so I picked up a spare in Hong Kong. So
Just
we
don't
will
eat
catch
'em.
you guys next week right here on the Snark Lounge.
Hasta
Bye, guys.
luego.
And we are clear. So
All right, that was fun, man. That's so much fun.
that was fun.
Oh,
Had a few
God.
internet controls. How do we always go to the